BR. I'm pursuing Bachelor of Engineering at IEEE Institute of Technology. The paper author is actually Dr. J.S. Javed sir, but unfortunately he couldn't.
Can I hear back with the number? ID?
76.
76.
Title of the paper is Designing and Implementing a Cyber-Physical System for Educational Program for Pre-University Students. And this is the content. Firstly, what is cyber-physical system? So it is basically a computerized based algorithms which are monitoring the mechanisms. So it is a pure interaction between the software and the hardware. In today's technology, when we are becoming too much dependent and interconnected with the technology, I think it's very important for the students from at the pre-university level to learn about these, the CPS system at a very younger age, so that they get an idea about what UG course they can take up, so that they have particular interest in the particular subject. There are certain important aspects of CPS education, that is hands-on experience, interdisciplinary approach. Hands-on experience is actually something that gives us confidence when we learn the theory part. Hands-on experience is really important to verify ourselves that yes, this is actually working. So the interdisciplinary approach, as I say, CPS education is something which involves all domains, that is computer science, it might be electrical or mechanical. If you take an example of an ARM design, so we need coding which comes with computer science, and we also need to know about networkings which deals with electrical engineering, and also to design the ARM we must know about the modeling, that is the mechanical modelings. So that's how interdisciplinary approach is an important aspect. And also we must also focus on safety and security, which is an issue that has to be addressed in today's technology. Then the real world application. Probably after when we complete our UG programs, though India is producing so many engineers, yet engineers are the ones who are left behind unemployed. Why is it happening? That is because we fail to understand the real world application of what we have already learned. So I think real world application must be addressed, will be addressed in CPS education. And also integration of emerging technologies. Right now emerging technologies are embedded systems, Internet of Things, machine learning and artificial intelligence. I think a student who is going to take up CPS education must also know about these things, so that he can inculcate these in the further projects. So once we say CPS system, it is basically mainly a device which is working on the instructions that is being fed to it. But humans, when human and the machine interacts, there is a complexity. So humans basically deal with emotions, we can judge, we can feel, we can sense. But as I said, the machine is mainly doing its job based on the instructions fed to it. So there is a small sort of indifference when these two entities come together. So how do we overcome this difference? That would morely be towards educating people about how it actually works. Most of the times we assume that machine is something that works robustly at all given circumstances, but that's not the point. The three major things that we must educate people about the CPS system and the education is that the first thing, we must educate people about the benefits as well as the potential risks that it has. And the second thing is it must be user-friendly, because it must be user-friendly because when humans interact, even though he's not aware of what a CPS system works, how does it works, it must be robust, at least to withstand if a man who is not. First 3 hours can be the introduction to CPS, where we brief about the importance of CPS, why CPS is booming in the current industry, and then computer science, fundamentals of computer science, And then electrical engineer fundamentals. I think computer science and electrical engineering sometimes correlated when we are working with microcontroller. We get to feed it with certain instructions. So it is electrical engineering. And then mechanical engineering, fundamentals of mathematics. Mathematics is basically required for algebra and also for certain mathematical models to design or for the architecture purpose. And then emerging technologies, as I already said, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, machine learning will be very useful throughout this course. And then also to teach about safety and security. So as I said, interdisciplinary approach is very much essential in CPS education as it involves all the domains. This is just an example for the interdisciplinary approach that has to be taught. Firstly, we'll give an introduction about CPS and then engineering designs like CAD models or mathematical models, and then computer science and networking. As I said, when we for example, if we have to learn about microcontrollers or about the data that has to be fed to the microcontrollers, we must have some basic idea about computer science as well as electronics. And then I think sensors and actuators are something very essential when we work on automations, and then human-machine interaction. So human-machine interaction is very important to check whether the prototype is working up to the mark. And then group projects, when too many brains come together, I think the project comes out well. And also in the conclusion, we must students must be able to make out the points, what were the things that went well and the things couldn't make it up to the mark, so that they can, in the upcoming projects, they can verify whether the same thing has been rectified or the same thing has been retained. Teaching safety and security. As soon as we hear the word safety and security, cybersecurity is something that hits our mind. So, as I said, technology is being completely interconnected in our day-to-day life in today's technology. So, the things that human can come across when he or she is using CPS system is human-machine interaction. There are certain things that we might not understand, or there are certain things that we want the machine to understand. So that is one problem. And the next thing is system malfunction, and next cyber attacks. So these are the main three safety concerns that we have to work on. And some mitigation strategies are conducting risk assessment during the prototyping. I think it is very essential that we have to ensure all the risks that are involved in it. I don't say completely that CPS systems are risk-free, but there are certain things which we must be aware of during the prototype. And then implementing secure communication protocols, that is providing encryptions, providing incident responses will work greatly for implementing secure communication. And then designing systems with robust safety. As I said, if a person is not aware about how the system works, at least the system must withstand the inputs that has been given to it. So this is again the thing I just briefed. Introduction, how do we actually teach students about the safety education on CPS. So we give brief introduction about why safety is required and what are the potential risks involved, and then the risk assessment. This I actually took an example saying that if there is a smart home system in your home, how can you interface it by assessing the risks involved, and then design safe system. Again, the robust, it must be robust so that it can withstand whatever the input is given. Secure communication, I think encryption is very much important, and also incident response. And then hands-on project. Hands-on project, it again enables us, gives us an insight on the deep knowledge about EPS education. Conclusion. we came across an article where this methodology was introduced in the UG program, but we are proposing it to be in pre-universities. But unfortunately, since it was an elective course, only 18 students turned up, and with one faculty teaching. And also the 20-hour plan, which was shown here, was also used as a template to design 45 hours of semester course. So that semester actually included only the electrical and the mechanical engineering parts, where it dealt with the microcontroller usage, control system designs, sensors and actuators. So the objective that was achieved was students, the reference has been added about this article. Students designed a sensor and actuator based wireless control in the irrigation system, where they used the moisture sensors to sense the moisture in the soil, and used a water tap switch where it can turn on and off the water supply. So to conclude, CPS education is highly important. CPS education is highly important right at the pre-university level, because it gives an insight on the skills that are required for CPS education, and it also emphasizes on interdisciplinary approach and also about the safety and security of the system. Thank you.
You have implemented this, designing and implementing.
We didn't implement,
Your
ma'am.
title is like that.
Sorry, ma'am?
Your title is like that.
No, ma'am. We didn't implement, but this is the methodology that we.
That is used somewhere.
Yeah.
And you're just showing the limelight that it is existing.
Yes.
It can be used somewhere.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is being devised. Have you taken some survey?
No, ma'am. It's still
Correct.
in the.
Somewhere it is used. When you're telling it is better, do you have an authentication for it to tell it is better and it is being achieved?
Ma'am, this course has been implemented in MIT, Manipal Institute of Technology, but it has.
Did you have a survey there?
No, ma'am. This is still in the theory part. We didn't.
The existence you have just studied and you are present.
Yes, ma'am.
It is like a statistics. Okay.
Basically, if I understood correctly, you are saying that this is such an important topic which needs to be taught in pre-university level,
Yes, sir.
and one university has already taught it,
Yes, sir.
and using that as a
But
base.
not in the pre-university. They are. giving
But
it
using
as-
that as a base, you are trying to recommend
Yes.
it for the pre-university, outside adaptive.
Yes, sir.
So, what is your contribution as such, like, as a researcher? If you have to state, like, why your paper is a very relevant or important paper. What is your contribution?
Sir, to state my own experience, I run an NGO where I take kids from daily wage workers who work right next to my place. And for me, or for our generation, I think we took a very lot of time just to learn ABCD. I think we took 3 years UKG, LKG, pre-KG to learn ABCD. But those kids, they are ready with all these basic things within 2 to 3 days. So I think we have this concept that every 5 years the technology changes, but right now every 2 to 3 years there is a change in technology. Then why not we change the process we read or we study the things?
So you should have told it should be incorporated from the school level. Why is it only in the under pre-university?
Ma'am, school level is too young, I guess, because pre-university is the place where we decide where we are actually interested in, and that's the place we get to decide what are we going to do next. So I think that is where it is very important that we give this.
Nowadays you have a diversion in the school itself, right? Yes? Correct?
Yes.
By the time you join pre-university, you are already segregated. So this awareness should be given still more.
But
prior. So why you thought it to be only in pre-university?
Ma'am, but to know about CPS system, I think we need some basic education about what is physics, maths.
Okay. No, my view is you are telling you require some diversion, and to get the clarity of diversion where to go, you are telling we require it in the But you are already diverted. If you choose, your options and all will be open in your school.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
are already chosen when you come to your domain of pre-university.
Yes, ma'am, but I think at the school level we don't have so much maturity to decide what CPS is, because as I said, it's very complex and interconnected. So I think at school level, students won't be able to understand what CPS is.